more
Okay,
on.
let us settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And so you two, Sue and Lynn, are doing a great job with propping yourselves up with cushions. That looks good. Are you sitting on a bed? Perhaps you are. Yes. So just settle in. And if you're sitting at your desk with your feet down, have them about a hip's width apart. And just feel the sensations of your feet flat on the floor. The heel, side of the foot, the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and all of your toe pads. So really feel that sensation. And then you might notice the back of your hamstrings on your chair, the weight, and then your sits bones on your chair. And feel the weight of your hands in your lap. So you can either have your hands just resting on your quads, on your thighs, your knees, or in the traditional meditation mudra, with the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. So I've heard twice now, once from Rinpoche, and then Venerable Katy mentioned this the other day, that the thumbs touching helps to activate the bodhicitta channel. And I have someone here staying with me right now that might be able to explain that. So I will ask later and let you guys know next week. And then just go to the crown of your head now and release your scalp. So just allow it to relax. And then notice the flow and effect to your face. And relax the forehead and the eyes and the temples. So yeah, the temples, the nose and the cheeks, the area around the mouth, the back of the tongue, the jaw, the back of the head, and your neck. So allow your neck to lengthen. Allow your shoulders to drop down and relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And then bring your attention to the breath and just notice the sensations of the breath as you inhale and exhale. You might notice the sensations around the nostrils, the base of the nose. And then move down to the thoracic area and notice the chest cavity. So imagine it expands 360 degrees. So you're not just breathing into your chest or into the front part of the body. So as you inhale, the diaphragm drops down. As you exhale, it rises up, helping to push out all that stale air. And some people like to focus on the rising and the falling of the belly. And just be aware of any sound in your environment. So trying not to follow the sounds, investigating them, and really thinking about at what point am I being distracted? At what draws me away? And then notice, check in with yourself this evening. How's your mind? Is it busy? And just watch the emotions as they arise and abide, the stories. And then just try and put some space in between all of those thoughts. And try not to judge what you see. Just be objective. Try not to judge what you feel, the emotions. And then bring to mind all the people of our life, our loved ones. So you know your loved ones. You look at them Sometimes people look at their loved ones every day, if they're fortunate. And there's us strangers. And then, so the strangers, you know, these are those people you're driving on the freeway with. And do you just see a car? And do you realize that inside that car there's people and they have lives and loves and grief and sadness and financial concerns? And then there's people we don't like. We have aversion for them. We can't possibly imagine that they could be enlightened or have any virtue in them at all. But these are the ones that really show us our mind, I think. So they're all equal. They all want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And they all have an incredible capacity for a Buddha mind. And these relationships could change place in your life at any time. So we're going to do these meditations this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So you imagine Tara in the space in front of you, and she has this beautiful radiant green light body. And she's sitting on a multicolored lotus. And her left foot is drawn in, and her right foot is out, resting on its own little multicolored lotus. And the left foot drawn in indicates her complete and effortless control over her desire energy. And her right foot out indicates her willingness and capacity to get up and act for sentient beings. And often she's referred to as the wish-fulfilling Buddha. And she represents this quick capacity, represented as female, to cut through obstacles, to get things done, and to be successful. And also to make us blissful. So imagine Tara is as beautiful as possible. She's young, she's radiant, and she's full of energy and full of bliss. And she's wearing these beautiful colored silken garments and jewelry on her ears, her ankles, around her arms, her neck, on her crown, around her waist, on her toes. And so imagine this is not regular jewelry, regular cloth that you buy in the store. These are emanations of her virtue. So imagine also she's the manifestation of the mind of your teacher appearing as green Tara for your benefit. This just makes us a little easier for us to relate. Makes it a bit more personal. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened by this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva. May I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And then we imagine powerful, blissful white light coming from the Om at her brow chakra. And this enters your brow and completely fills you. And imagine, excuse me, all your problems and sufferings and heaviness of the body are purified by this light. And any harm you've ever done to any living being with this body and infinite past bodies also is purified. And it's sort of eradicated completely, not one atom left, as we recite her mantra. Om tare tutare ture soham. 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 Om tare tu tare tu re so. So now this time imagine the light coming again. And just imagine your body has become a blissful light body, just like Tara's. Indestructible, just like it will be when you attain the deity's body, the Sambhavakaya. And imagine it's not possible to ever harm others with this body, only to benefit them. Om tare tu re so. 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 So now imagine Tara sends the red light from the R at her throat chakra to your throat, and this purifies all the problems of your speech. So your uncontrolled speech, your angry speech, your criticism, the inability sometimes we have to express ourselves appropriately, talking about other people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this harm that you may have done to any living being with the speech of this life and infinite past lives is also completely purified. And imagine it's eradicated by this blissful red light. Not one atom left. Om tare tu re so. 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 Om tare Tutare ture soham. Imagine the light coming again, except this time you're completely full of all the blissful, perfect, compassionate wisdom, appropriate speech of Lama Tara, such that whatever sound you utter is necessarily beneficial to any living being who hears it, all of which is your potential. So feel full of this powerful, blissful speech energy. Om tare ture so. 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 So now imagine this time Lama Tara sends powerful beams of blue light, blue like the sky, from the blue hum at her heart chakra. And this enters your heart. And imagine all the unhappiness of mind, so confusion, arrogance, anger, jealousy, pride, resentment, hurt, anxiety, depression, all of this completely purified. And all your delusions, including the root delusion, ego grasping, which are the cause of my own suffering and why I harm others, is completely eradicated by the powerful blue light, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra again. Om tare ture so. 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 Now imagine the blue light coming again and feel full of the blissful, omniscient, compassionate mind of Lama Tara. And this is really your potential. Om Tare Tutare Ture Son. 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 Now imagine the three lights coming from Lama Tara's three chakras simultaneously. So the white Om from her brow, the red Ah from her throat, the blue Hum from her heart. And this penetrates your three places. Om Ah Hum. And this time feel that even the subtlest stains of all delusion are completely eradicated and there's not one atom left. You feel very blissful. And we'll just stay in this blissful state for a couple more minutes, concentrating on being one with this energy of Mother Tara, and also remembering this is the manifestation of your teacher, if you have one, your guru, your trusted mentor, however you see them. So now imagine Lama Tara's lotus dissolving upwards into her body, and also that little foot lotus dissolving up into her leg. And she just comes to sit above the crown of your head, facing the same way as you, about a couple of inches above the crown. And then out of a wish to become one with your mind, remembering also this is the mind of your teacher, she dissolves into this beautiful green light and melts into you through your crown and merges with your body and speech and mind. And think, I am one with Lama Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. Now you think, now I'm Tara, I must lead them to enlightenment. So imagine now those enemies right in front of you, the ones you don't like, the ones you have aversion for. And then to your left, your friends. And to the right and everywhere else, all the rest of sentient beings, and strangers above, below, left, right, behind, in front. And they're pervading all of space. So think of as many as you can and be comfortable. And just remember, they're all the same. They all want happiness. They don't want suffering. And they all possess this, Buddha nature. So now from your heart, you imagine millions and millions of tiny green taras. They emanate from your heart. And they enter the friends, the enemies, the strangers. And they take away all of their suffering and give them everything they need and transform them into their own Tara. So even the ones you don't like and the ones you don't care about. So really want this, really imagine this as we recite the mantra again. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soham. 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 Imagine finally all these transformed taras absorb into you and they're enhancing your own Tara nature. Okay, everyone, just relax. Maybe have a sip of water. Hello, Alice. Hello, Art. Thank you for joining. Nice to see you. And I will pull up our Lamrim. Where are we up to? Okay. All right, have a drink and then we'll just settle back in. I'm gonna have a drink of some. Okay. So just settle back into your meditation posture. Just keep your body nice and aligned. Imagine you're lengthening that spine and bring your attention to your breath. So this is an analytical meditation. So it's really, we're thinking about things. So we're in today 251, and Lama Yeshe says, the influence of friends is a very powerful thing and can easily cause delusion to arise. The third cause of delusions mentioned by Lama Tsongkhapa is influences from the outside. Negative, misleading friends who give us deluded information are included here. These are the people we know who make us confused. Therefore, whom we have for friends, with whom we stay in close contact, is very important. For instance, if all around us people were drinking with some control, we might be able to remain uninfluenced by them for a week or so. But after a while, we would no longer be able to control ourselves because the situation would be overpowering. Such influence is not limited to bad friends or good friends. In our life, we have so many teachers, in inverted commas, people who feed us information that only adds to our delusions. Therefore, it is very important to stay around those people who give us the right vibration, the wisdom vibration. I love that. This is much better than exposing ourselves all the time to polluted, confused vibrations. But this does not mean that we give up completely on all misleading friends, hating them and having bad thoughts about them. No, this should not be our reaction. It is essential always to remain compassionate. We should always remember that we are polluted already. Our friends are not to blame for our delusions. Their influence just makes this pollution thicker and thicker. The Western mind is very interesting. In some respects, it's very skeptical, doubting everything. This can be a very good attitude, especially when surrounded by untruth. Yet, in other respects, the Western mind is totally the opposite of skeptical. If it sees something that has one good aspect, that has an interesting side to it, then without hesitation, it accepts the whole thing as good. This overly emotional attitude is very dangerous. So we have our 3 summary sentences. So again, just think about maybe something you've heard in a teaching or something you've read. Try and relate it to your own life. Examining our life demonstrates the importance of how we choose our friends. It's better to be around people who give us wisdom rather than confused vibrations. The Western mind is very skeptical, but can also be overly emotional and uncritical. Maybe just investigate for yourself what might be the cause of that. Day 252, again, Lama Yeshe, and he says, every piece of wrong information that we grasp at thickens our deluded mind. The fourth cause that makes delusions arise is the following false teachings. Believing that someone is a special teacher and therefore listening to and following all the wrong conceptions he or she teaches. Teachings of whatever quality can be very interesting. But when people find things interesting, often it just means that they crave information. Of course, if we have wisdom, we can read any type of garbage information without being affected by it. We can be checking up on it without taking it all in greedily. That's okay. But when we are too interested, too attracted, yes, yes, tell me more, it leaves a very strong impression on our mind. There is a total lack of discriminating wisdom knowledge, no clear idea of what is right and wrong. We take everything in with no judgment whatsoever. The same is true of all types of information. So much comes in, but generally there is no integration and no differentiation between what is useful and what is harmful. In fact, nearly every aspect of popular Western culture, books, magazines, movies, television, and the like, is totally dedicated to producing more and more desire and superstition. And I mean, this probably was, Lama Yeshe may have spoken this maybe in the 80s. So now we're talking about, we have this additional thing of AI and algorithms and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and anything you may be watching. So it's kind of like even more intense than it was back in the 80s when Lama Yeshe was talking about all of this. There are exceptions to this, of course. Some movies, for instance, are different, but most of them show us what we like, what the superstitious mind wants to see. Anything to arouse our interest. The people who create these films, books, and so forth have a practical understanding of psychology. They know exactly what arouses people's desires and superstitions and what will make them more confused than they already are. So I think marketing works in pretty much the same way. Now, again, now we have algorithms and AI. You look at something on your Facebook feed for more than, a few seconds, and then all of a sudden you're getting fed pretty much more of the same. Then you may be talking to somebody about booking a flight somewhere, then all of a sudden through the feed starts to come travel things. So as I'm preparing to go to Laudo and I'm searching for certain things on the internet, I'm getting all this travel information coming up. You should buy this cushion. You should buy this, jet lag kit. Just constantly being fed all this stuff. And it's actually really hard to find a way to filter it. It's much more difficult than it was, 20, 30 years ago. So our summary sentences. Delusions arise when we listen and follow the wrong conceptions of a false teacher. So that teacher could be charismatic and very entertaining and wonderful. And maybe they do have some interesting things to say, but it may not be, it might be just leading you down the garden path, up the garden path, however they say. So, the advice is you be very careful about who you start to think is interesting and wonderful. You have to protect your own mind. And we have to take responsibility. You can't go blaming that person because they were charismatic and you decide to fall in love with them. If we lack discriminating wisdom knowledge, we eagerly accept garbage information. This is very much Lama's language. Actually, now you can check up. You can ask Gemini if something is true. And in the blink of an eye, Gemini will scour the internet and let you know. Popular Western culture is designed to arouse desire, superstition, and confusion. I mean, I really think it's playing on that in order to create money. Like it's based on, you know, a need to run a business. Everybody just relax and we'll do our dedication prayers. Jang chub sem chog rinpoche, ma ke pa nam ke gyur chi, ke pa nyam par me pari, gong ne gong du pao shog, tong ni ta wa rinpoche, ma ke pa nam ke gyur chi, ye pa nyam parame pari, Gong ne gong de pel war shu. Kung ri ra wei kor wei jing kam dir. Pandang de wa ma lu zhong wei nei. Chen raising wan tenzin gyat so yin. Shab pe si te baradu tengyur chi. Excuse me, also just have a strong wish for the unmistaken reincarnation of Lama Zopa Rinpoche to come into our lives sooner rather than later. All right, everyone. Would be delighted to run into this little baby Rinpoche on the track on the way up.
Oh, please let us know if you do. Let us know if you.
Oh, don't worry. I'll shout it from the mountaintops, but probably it's not going to happen. Anyway. All right, you guys, lots of love. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Urs, for hosting. Okay, bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, everyone. Goodbye. Bye.